Madam Mayor, what are you doing with that in your hand?
Pressure washing. I'm going to spray you.
Oh, don't. I got sprayed earlier when we washed the car.
I know, this thing is great. I got some green off of the garage, but now I'm going to see what it does for this deck because it's a mess.
Yeah, so I'm curious how well it's going to do. It is a little electric pressure washer. It's not anything fancy, but I've been pretty amazed with the power it has.
And it's quiet.
It's quiet, so I do prefer it over the gasoline one. You remember the gasoline one we had in Otter Creek and we used to clean the house and whatnot?
Yeah, and to start it was so hard to start. And the problem with the gasoline ones is you use it and then it sits for 6 months to a year before you use it again. So the carburetor usually needs to be rebuilt, and it's just a big pain.
And usually it continues to run even when you're not using it. So if you set the wand down for a minute and you want to grab a soap or a scrub or something, or you have to run in and use a bathroom or something, it's continuing to run. So you end up turning it off, turning it on, turning it off, turning it on in an effort to save gas.
And it was so loud.
Yes, and this turns itself on and off, and you'll hear it when we start the video. But
another thing I've noticed too is the gasoline one, it vibrated a lot. So it really made your arms hurt and your hands went numb. This one doesn't do that at all.
And it used to surge too.
Yes.
The power used to surge. It took a little while to warm up.
The electric ones don't have as much power, but for what we need, this is enough.
It's perfect. Yeah, it's perfect for our needs.
I was even cleaning some of the concrete, the driveway earlier, and it was taking stuff off of there without much effort.
Yeah, so we got some green pollen that we're going to clean off, but that may not be today. But she started doing it and went down the wall and went along the back, and you can see it works. It works perfectly well. I'll show you here on the back the kind of the before and after. So you see the green there, the pollen. Well, she cleaned from the corner to there and it did just fine. But I need to get up on the roof and do this corner and then go along the top edge because there's a lot of pollen up there. But anyway, that's a project for another day. And we got the Jeep washed and looks nice. Hasn't been washed in a while. That's the first washing of the Jeep in a while.
Yeah.
Like it had a grime on it, like you had to scrub it. But it looks good now. It's vacuumed out. I got the mats drying to go back in, and it's ready to go.
It's nice and warm out today. As you see, I'm rolling up my pants.
I know. We started in sweats, and now we're in shirts and tanks. Well, I'm in a tank.
It's gorgeous, but over there on the deck is going to be the biggest
test
because you have all that green stuff growing.
Yeah, so let me give you a little before shot before we start up the engine here. It looks like old wood and it looks like it needs replaced, but you know what? It's not. It's firm. It's strong. This is missing a little piece there.
Now this is going to need to be replaced.
This lattice we plan on replacing, and it's part of the house that needs repainted. See the darker blue and the lighter gray? Well, the lighter gray is an older coat, and so part of the house on the other side is still light gray, and the chimney didn't get painted. So we need to get some more paint, but that's not a today project either. That's a future project.
Are we going to keep this a gray color?
No, I'd like to paint it the color of the house. Yeah, the same. I think it'll look nice. And this whole porch never got painted, so I think that would look good if that was all painted blue too, just to match.
So in between travels, when we're here, we're going to have some hardcore projects going on this year.
We will, yes. So down here's the worst part of the steps as it goes down the back. As you can see, it kind of looks like black mold, but it really isn't. It's more like, I don't know, more like you can see the green. It's more like a mold because it's right next to this cedar tree here. And we did trim this cedar tree way back from what it was when we bought the place. It was almost touching all the way over here. So we've trimmed it back a lot. In fact, we were kind of concerned that it might kill the tree.
It looks ugly.
It is an ugly tree, but I'm scared to take it out completely because the root system is kind of holding this embankment in place. And so I would be concerned about erosion if this tree wasn't here. So that's the only reason we kind of kept it. And then there's an ugly gum tree right here. We've trimmed a couple limbs off of it that come toward the house. But gum trees are so ugly. And they drop those balls and you step on them and then you cuss. And there's another ugly gum tree over there. But we're not looking to replace them. They're already here. They're mature trees. And Takes a long time for a tree to grow, doesn't it?
Yes.
So we are stuck with what we have there. We'll just keep them trimmed up, and in the summer they don't look so bad. It's just in the winter they're ugly. So these are the stairs, and you can see here where former owner started to paint it and didn't finish. So here you can see the difference in the color. So we want to continue this dark blue up the lattice, and the lattice on the back is in pretty decent shape. I think if you just threw some paint on it. This is like a gate, so this lattice needs completely replaced on this side. I think this is probably the worst side. So we're gonna get started on this pressure washing the deck and kind of see how it turns out. We'll do a little test up there and just see if it's going to work.
Push my button.
Can I push your button?
You usually do.
So it's real easy. Oh, I think we've tripped inside. There's a little green light on the power cord you have to push. You got it?
Okay.
Nope, still not working.
Well, the green light is on.
Well, that's
Maybe it doesn't
odd.
like your plug.
Oh, maybe it doesn't like maybe it's not pushed in all the way.
It is. The green light's been on.
Huh. I wonder what it was just working. Well, we'll figure this out and get right back on here.
Try it.
Okay, so the pressure washer was working the whole time. The thing is you have to relieve the pressure from the nozzle or it doesn't cut on. So there you can hear it. It's not nearly as loud as a gasoline one. But we're going to see if it'll produce enough pressure.
Look, you see black?
Look at that.
No black.
Yeah, it's doing something. You have to get kind of close to it, but
It'll be a little bit of a lengthy project, but that looks very nice.
yeah,
We got nothing but time.
nothing but time.
Time is on our side. Dirty deck, clean it up.
Do the rail here. I want to see how it does on the handrail. Oh yeah. Looks
Well,
like it does. Yeah, it looks like it does pretty well.
You know what I like too about this one?
Mm-hmm.
When I used to pressure wash the house at Shady Oaks because of all the
pressure.
I'd be
pressure.
up on the ladder and I'd hit it and it'd be like jerking you, and that was not a good feeling when you were high on the ladder, but this doesn't do that.
Right. Sometimes too much pressure is just too much pressure.
Yeah. And like I said, it would hurt my hands and my arms, and you had to do that like once a year. All that green comes back.
Yeah, so we got a lot of deck to do, so let's get busy.
Okay. All right. So Brett has come along and stole my job.
We're switching off.
I was wondering how long it would take for him to do that. He's got OCD and he usually does that.
I had to fix the screen because the wind the other day had pushed the screen, the little strip that holds the screen on the door had blown it off. So I had to fix the screen. So.
Yeah, you got plenty of projects.
And I had to tend to the Jeep to put the mats back in the Jeep. So
now he's back to steal my work. This is what he does.
So now I'm going to do this, and this is going to be pressure washing meditation with the Grangers.
Going to be a slow process for sure. Especially seeing as this is what's done so far.
It's probably never been done.
Oh,
so
I'm sure it hasn't.
If it has, but it's been a long time.
I don't think it has, to be honest. Quite a difference. Especially over there. But we've got quite a ways to go. This might take a few days.
Yeah.
Seeing as we got all of this. So nice out today. There's another project. We got to take that down. Guess I'll need to find myself a new project now.
What are you doing down there?
Getting ready to make this look better.
Yeah, so we have to continue. This is a different day we're recording, but we're continuing the stripping with the pressure washer of the mildew, algae, mold.
This is really slippery.
It is slippery. But this is the before and this is the after. So we're going to get this to look like this.
It's going to take some extra work down here.
It does, yeah, it's pretty thick down there. The closer you get to it, the more power it has. I know, it's crazy. But we're also doing the rails as well. As you can see, we stripped the rails. And you don't have to get every ounce of paint off. You just have to get the loose paint off. And then there's more algae on this one because, of course, this is where the bush and the tree were overgrown in this area. This cedar tree actually came all the way across. And you walked under it, but we didn't want that because of what it does to the wood, and the wood is, as you know, if you've been to the store, wood's pretty pricey. So we're trying to restore the wood and then seal it either with paint or stain, so we can get it to last another 20 years. Hopefully, that's the plan. Once she finishes the stairs, and we do switch off, it ain't just her doing it. In fact, I've already started doing it. So we moved all the furniture here because we didn't know we'd be doing this. But you can see here by the door where we did a little bit, and oh my goodness, it cleaned it right up. So we're going to strip all of this. We don't know that this is going to get painted. We've been going back and forth on whether to paint it or not. Now, if we do paint it, I say paint, but actually it's a stain. It would be this color, this blue color, to kind of match. But we're almost thinking about going with a clear on the deck and just paint the rails. So if you guys have any ideas on that. Now, we're not changing the color. It is kind of a grayish color, but that's just because it never got repainted. The house here has been repainted. It's a little bit darker of a blue. And we'll do the rails with the blue at least. And we might do the deck with a natural. We might keep it the color it is and just do a stain. I think it kind of looks pretty good. But leave your thoughts in the chat, and we'll weigh in your ideas and our ideas, and then we'll just make a choice on that. I don't think there is a bad choice. I think both would look nice. There's a tricky part over here to do. If I can make my way through the chairs. You see there between the chairs, There's a part of the deck here that is outside, and so it's got the more of the algae and the mold on it. But we're going to have to pressure wash that last foot or so that's sitting outside the screen, and we'll have to do that from a ladder from down on the ground. So that's going to be a little something to do, but I don't think it's undoable. I think we can get to it. And that's what we're doing. More pressure washing. I think we've done most of it already. This comes off pretty fast down here. What she's doing now is probably going to be the most time intensive. I had to go back and do some parts that I had failed to do the last time I did it. We were kind of in a rush because we had somewhere to be. So the rail here, I just stripped, and you can see it's wet, and I had to go up underneath and in between each board, which I didn't do last time because we were just trying to get the deck done and then go to our appointment. But I came back and did this morning, and then kind of handed it off. And Therese likes doing the pressure washing. She doesn't like to stand around, and she's like, well, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So don't think I'm overworking her. She wants to do it. She likes doing stuff. And it's not really hard. You just aim the wand, and she's done a lot of pressure washing in her day. She used to pressure wash her house. And then at the campground we used to pressure wash.
What if the algae is what's holding this deck together and now it's going to fall apart?
Yeah, the algae, she said the algae might be holding the deck together. Now it's going to fall apart. But the wood underneath all of it, it actually looks like rotting wood, but it's not. It's in good shape. For as old as it is, it's sturdy, it's strong. Now there's some nails that have worked loose, and we're going to go back and probably replace some, maybe not all, but replace some of the nails with screws, because screws are preferred, because it brings the wood in together. You can see where there are some screws. Like this must have come apart and they put screws in it here, but it's mostly nails. As you can see, the nails, and nails just don't hold as well as screws, or deck screws in particular. And I've got quite a few of them. I've got a couple boxes of them, so no shortage of deck screws. So we'll replace some of these nails with screws, and you can see what happens with the nails as the boards shrink, or as they get weathered, they pull out. And he's had to put screws in here to tighten it back in. So we'll be shoring up some of this. I mean, it's sturdy, it's not going anywhere, but we're going to shore some of this up and just make it tighter right here so these gaps aren't here. And this hinge doesn't need to be here. There used to be a gate across here for a dog, but we don't have a dog, not getting a dog, so he had a gate out here too, and the dog could run around. We took all that out. It just looks unsightly, especially in a front yard. It's kind of windy today, kind of overcast, dreary. You can see it's kind of but it's warm. You would think it'd be cold, but it's 63, so that's pretty warm. So we got out to like, what do you want to do today? Well, I don't know. We need to do some more pressure washing. Now, it could rain today off and on, but that doesn't really interfere with anything. You get wet from the pressure washer anyway. Now, if it starts to rain hard, we'll just take a break, and then when it stops raining, we'll continue. It's already rained this morning some. I don't think it's going to do anything heavy. It's just going to be sporadic, isolated showers moving through the area, but nothing intense. In fact, I can feel it sprinkling right now. You can hardly tell it. She's done a lot of pressure washing, so there's nothing I need to show her on this. She's the pressure washing queen. Are you the pressure washing queen?
I am today.
And you have been before.
Where's my tiara?
I've got it. You've got a tiara on your head right there.
All right. Okay. Well, that's what I was going for.
All right. Makes a big difference, don't it?
It does. It really does.
Look how much mold was on there. It was becoming a tree.
I told you.
It was morphing into a tree.
That's why I said it might fall apart.
I'm surprised actually how good the wood looks underneath it all.
Yeah.
Hey, everything looks great, but right over here,
Yeah?
you missed a spot.
Really? Are you the supervisor today?
I am. Look, on this at this height right here, all the way down.
Well, boss, I better get right on that because nobody likes a dirty deck.
Well, you got dirty eyes. You got
I
stuff
got
all
dirty
in your face.
everything. Like I'm gonna need to be pressure washed when I'm done here.
I think so.
Oh boy. Went from a dirty deck to a dirty tree.
That's right.
Goodness.
Do you need your line to go up and over? You got enough line there?
I'll make it work.
Okay. So look at the difference here on the porch. Now this is a lot quicker to do because you can back the wand out from the board a little bit, get a wider angle, because this is just surface dirt really. It's not really molds per se. But look at the difference between that I just did. Look how pretty that wood is. And then here's the old wood right here. I still got a couple spots there to get, but look how clean and how dirty. And it only takes a few seconds to do a board. Like, that's a crazy difference, isn't it?
I left you the easy job.
Easy job, but more square feet.
You're welcome.
Thank you. But I think it's going to look good when it's all done. I'm even able to clean the screens too without really without damaging the screen if you don't get too close.
If y'all thought he was breaking the OSHA stuff before, look at him now. Oh look, at least he was wearing sneakers.
OSHA, where? Where's OSHA?
He had to do something to make me worry today. Quite a difference. It's really looking good. The house was starting to be so green, I was going to have to start calling it the Hulk house. Still got lots of screen work to do here. But it's really coming out nice. With all these projects we're doing this year, maybe next year we'll be able to just travel and not do any projects at home. Look at that drop. No, thank you. There he is. Hard at work.
This is the last piece of it, like the last 10 feet.
Well, there's still a little spot inside I gotta finish. Now he's just trying to get me wet, I think.
I don't know how we're going to paint the chimney. Look at the chimney needs painted.
I don't know either. I have a bad feeling you're gonna try something ridiculous.
Yeah, I was going to put some pulleys in the trees and have you pull me back with the Jeep.
You might be a redneck.
But look at this hill. That's what makes everything hard over here.
I know. I don't even know how you would put scaffolding or anything over there.
It's very uneven. Not just uneven this way, but it's uneven that way too. Like the ladder's sitting in a hole. But the hole is what's holding it kind of locked in against the logs there. So this is actually a lot safer than it looks.
Sure.
And there's a foot of wood here to stand on. So as long as you don't step off, which I'm not, I'm hugging the fence here. I'm hugging the screen.
Not to mention that that wood is slippery.
It is slippery, but it's less slippery with the algae off.
Well, that's good. Let's check out how he has this ladder set up right in a hole. I tell you what, if y'all have any good ideas about the best way to paint up there, please drop it in the comments, because that's going to be coming up real soon, and I hate to see what Brett tries to do to paint this. So I would really appreciate any tips y'all have.